Hey everyone, welcome to Boss Run, a video game podcast from the perspective of a geriatric millennial named Billy Housh. I hope you're all doing well. I'm trying to get this done before the storm or tornado or whatever that my phone's blowing up, giving me these warning messages like the Amber Alerts, but a tornado might hit, so we got to get this done before the power goes out, and then I can't play any video games. Speaking of outages, last week I talked about the PlayStation Network being down, but lo and behold, after I made that recording, the Xbox Network and all services went down. So it was on beginning of July 26. The Xbox Network suffered a major global outage lasting roughly 20 hours that crippled core online services, including profile sign-ins, store purchases, and multiplayer matchmaking. The disruption, hit digital game libraries particularly hard as players encountered license verification errors that prevented them from launching even their own single-player titles. So this was occurring just days after PlayStation Network's blackout. It feels like Microsoft keeps wanting to one-up Sony as being one of the worst gaming platforms in the world. The extended downtime reignited public debate surrounding DRM, server reliance, and pitfalls of all digital gaming ecosystem. So yeah, these are bad timing for things hitting the gaming zeitgeist. Like, it's just been bad news with, like, first and foremost because of the AI RAM and NAD storage apocalypse. Prices are up and prices keep going up. The Xbox system prices have gone up, but also people are feeling that the digital rights are like being taken away from them. So everyone's getting pushed to the cloud, and then you have no other choice. Choices are taken away in the consumer market. And it's like the first time that I ever remember in my personal history where buying hardware, electronics, the day it's released is cheaper than waiting a year or 2 or 3 years or 4 years or 6 years after the fact. So definitely Moore's Law is dead. We're not getting the type of like innovation we would see back in the day, and prices aren't going down. So it's just like this very much a stagnant area. However, on the flip side of it, if you have current gen capable hardware, there's tons of great games. It's been, the past couple of years have been like the best years of like amazing video games coming out. So like, I don't see the aspect of like the doom and gloom about gaming as in quality of games that are coming out. I feel that quality has been just shooting up. It's been awesome. And it's continuing to be, especially in the fall. There's lots of stuff to be excited about. However, if you did not jump on entering this generation at the beginning of it, it's almost not even worthwhile jumping in at this point. It's worth just waiting until like 2028 when next gen comes out, because you'll be facing with the same prices, or you could just hop on the price right when it comes out before it shoots up. But once again, speaking about Xbox, there was a surprise trail. I mean, for me, it was a surprise. Like, once again, like, it's funny because sometimes people are looking for some sort of like fanboy bias. I know from the last video, I got a comment about people. One person said, "Why aren't you reporting the Xbox downtime and you're focusing on the PlayStation downtime, which was a much shorter amount of time?" I don't have a Microsoft bias. I've never, besides an Xbox 360, I've never bought a new Xbox console, and I don't have this generation or last generation's Xbox console. I was always, I had a PlayStation 2 console-wise. I guess I was more adjacent to Nintendo, but I was also like Nintendo and PC. But then for a while, since the PlayStation 3, I became a hardcore since the PlayStation 3 end of the place of that generation. I became a pretty devout PlayStation player. And I think for most people that was solidified. Most people just became big PlayStation players during the PS4 era that moved into that. That was the momentum that like PlayStation 5 is like the market leader. But I don't particularly have a bias towards any of them. If anything, at this current point, I seem to have a bias towards Steam, or even like I've been enjoying Xbox Game Pass, PC Game Pass, because I don't have to pay for the Ultimate. It's cheaper, and I have access to all these brand new games, and some games that I haven't wouldn't have bought or played if it wasn't for PC Game Pass. So I'm pretty diversified in I just like having access to playing games. So if there's a worthwhile exclusive on a certain platform, I just want to have that platform just to have access to play it. So I don't have any particular bias towards anything. I obviously everyone does, but I try to just cover everything. And I think these days, because Microsoft's doing so bad, and PlayStation is PlayStation has almost no competition. It's almost like runaway with them. I think it's now, and just because they are the market leader, it's more people like to report against PlayStation, right? So like that, it's just like that. That's the dominant ideology. So the rebellion is always against the dominant ideology. So that's how that works. Anyways, getting back to Microsoft. Microsoft dropped a trailer last week to the multiplayer reveal of Gears of War E-Day, which is the new Gears of War day. And just to keep you guys up to date, so there's a new Gears of War coming out that comes out in October 6th. And they released this single player trailer of it. And it looked pretty good. It looked, honestly, the graphics and stuff, it looked on par with Wolverine. Maybe not like the cinematics and stuff, but they showed a bunch of gameplay and it looked really good. It looked like a high production Sony game. So it looked really good. But then that was also when they announced that it's going to be exclusive to Xbox and PC, and it's not going to be on PlayStation 5, which was I think it's more of a bummer since they've released the multiplayer trailer, because the multiplayer trailer looked fantastic. That blew my mind. I am hyped for the Gears of War multiplayer. It was sick. It looked like a cross between Call of Duty style progression and shit, and the third person nice shooting and stuff that I'm used to from playing Division 2 and stuff like that. But it's Gears of War, so it's got the horde mode, and it looked like they put a ton of work in the multiplayer. The multiplayer trailer has me way more excited than the single player campaign. So I am super, super psyched about that. But I'm also extremely bummed out because PlayStation doesn't have it. So that's a massive amount of online players you won't be facing. And most of my friends that I would play online and stuff with, they don't they're on PlayStation, right? I'm going to be playing it on the PC through PC Game Pass, but a lot of games that I have on PC Game Pass, I also play with my friends who are on PlayStation. So it kind of sucks that that's going to be locked out. I hope eventually comes out, but whatever. It just that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate they made that mistake. I want to say maybe honestly, because it looks so good, maybe that works in their strategy that this is a crazy exclusive. It's going to get more people to, I don't know, buy an overpriced Xbox now. I don't know. But yeah, mark your calendars. Gears of War E-Day's multiplayer beta. So there's going to be, they announced that at the end of the trailer. The beta is dropping across 2 big weekends. So there's a closed early access, which kicks off August 6th and August 10th. That's for anyone who pre-ordered the game or if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, or like me, have the PC Game Pass, that beta is for you. So like I'll get to play this August 6th, which I'm pumped about. Then there's an open beta for everyone who didn't pre-order or doesn't have Game Pass on August 13th and 17th. So, and the beta lets you get your hands on with the brand new, it's Unreal Engine 5 competitive. So like that's, we'll see. 4v4 maps. Plus there's a new Horde Siege mode, which expands co-op wave survival up to 12 players, split screen into sub squads. That's interesting. Playing gets you the exfil Dom and weapon skin set for launch, all building up to the full game release on October 6th. So yeah, there's some like beta bonuses for just playing the beta. It looks awesome. It looks really cool. And like at the end of the trailer, they had like a developer interviews and stuff like that, where they explain like all the skins are going to be grounded. It's not going to be like Call of Duty and all blah, 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 blah. Even though Call of Duty this year is also promising that, but it just looks like a really awesome like co-op experience and awesome like multiplayer experience that I hope it lives up to it. It looks really good. It's interesting that it's going to be also like, it is like Unreal. I mean, and speaking of Unreal, I've been playing the Halo campaign Evolved, which is it's the remake of the first Halo game using Unreal 5's engine. I haven't experienced any bad performance issues in it, so it's been okay. It's pretty well optimized, so I hope that goes the same way for the Gears of War game. But let's talk about Halo. So my first I've never played the original Halo back in the day, whatever it was, 2001, whatever when the launch. I never had the OG Xbox when it came out. So this is my first time experiencing where it all began, the original Halo Combat Evolved, the campaign Evolved. So I first played like maybe the first 2 or first 3 missions by myself on normal difficulty. And after I did that, I was like, yeah, it like the gameplay and stuff kind of feels kind of like dated. The scripted sequences, like some of the scripted sequences, I was trying to put myself into the context or like during that time, how this would feel, especially someone who never played like the first Half-Life game or what have you, and they're just like a console gamer. Yeah, they did a bunch of cool stuff, especially with like the bots and the squads, and you're all like these big wars and stuff like that. It was pretty cool, but it was still kind of like, eh. It wasn't until I played with my PlayStation 5 fans who purchased the game, and we played co-op. We started to play co-op on the legendary difficulty. That's when the game clicked and it made sense. It was a completely different experience, and it was tons of fun. It is a lot of fun playing Halo on Legendary with like a bunch of people co-op. So yeah, I've been playing through the entire game that way. I believe we only have 2 more missions left, plus the 2 bonus missions, I think, which I don't think you need to do a legendary run on those missions necessarily. But I've been playing through it, collecting the skulls and stuff like that, and I'm having a hell of a time. Like, I have to admit, like it's been, and like I play multiplayer games, but usually I play multiplayer like Call of Duty with like pubbies and stuff like that, or Battlefield, usually with pubbies and stuff like that. But playing this game and like not necessarily you don't even really need comms on, it's a lot of fun. So it's a lot of fun. If you have people locked down that are willing to play through the game through co-op with you, then I would definitely recommend the Halo campaign Evolved. it's definitely a good time. However, if you're planning on just playing through the game by yourself, I don't think I can recommend it at full price though, in that sense. It is skewed. Like, it's skewed for me now that I have PC Game Pass. Like, value gets kind of messed up. And I always get afraid of like, sometimes when you have like this glut of games, you then end up not playing any of them. You end up just like, oh, next new game came out, I'll just play for like an hour or two and then I'll stop, play the next game. That happened to me like way back in the day when I had a PlayStation 2 and then I modded it, and then I had like any game that would come out, I would just burn the disc. So I was just like collecting all the games. I would just like run the game to play it, make sure it works, and then try it out for like an hour or two. And then I wouldn't play any game. So I was worried about that with PC Game Pass, but I think I've gone past that point, because there's like, I've been actually playing through the games and stuff like that and enjoying them, especially stuff like Halo. So it is pretty sweet. I know that, like, I'm trying to get the most out of PC Game Pass, because like I've been saying over and over again, I have a feeling that this is not going to, it's not going to be around for a while. Like, I think they're going to like raise the price, or I can see them just eliminating PC Game Pass and just like, yo, you just got to get Ultimate. I think that they're going to change. Either they're going to get rid of Game Pass, or they're going to completely change it for next generation. I just have that gut feeling. But yeah. Smoke them while you got them, right? The other game, like Tuesday, so hopefully, probably like today, I'm going to be playing and finishing my first playthrough of Halo. And then on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, August the 4th, Beasts of Reincarnation comes out. So that's a game, and I talked about this last week, that I'm pretty excited about this game. It's developed by Game Freak, which is the developer of Pokemon. And Pokemon is usually associated with Nintendo. This game doesn't look at a thing like Pokemon. It's set in some sort of fantasy kind of world, what have you. But like the graphics are like grounded in kind of like, I mean, realism, you could say, or animeism. It looks like, it reminds me of like Stellar Blade, or like a third person, like action hack and slash kind of deal, or something like that. But it looks really good. And I'm really excited to try this game. It's a PC game. It's a Game Pass game. So it's a Microsoft Game Pass game. So if you have Game Pass Ultimate or PC Game Pass, you can play this game day one, but it's available on all the platforms. I don't know if it's available on Switch too. I don't think it's available on Switch too. I would be surprised if it runs on Switch too, which is funny. That's funny if it's not on Switch too, because it's like no, it's not on Switch too. It's not on Switch too. And they're calling it an RPG. So there you go. So yeah, that's pretty crazy, because it's a developer that usually makes makes Nintendo games, right? Makes the Pokemon games. One of Nintendo's like biggest franchises, is coming out with a game that's also going to be on Game Pass day one. So next week, I'll have your first impressions, or a weekend of impressions about Beasts of Reincarnation, and then I'll also have like a final what I felt about playing through Halo. We'll have like our final recap of that. Besides that, I've been hitting up a bunch of my first-person shooters that I have since like there's new seasons that came out. So I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 7 again, enjoying that, catching up on whatever challenges I have in that game. Still didn't get the battle pass, just like picking away at it for like a match here or two, usually like 30 minutes a day or something like that, just to keep me nice and sharp, especially when I play Halo. Keeps me good at shooting. I'm also playing Battlefield 6 as well, and that's also for like maybe 30 minutes or so. And both the games, because it's like they've been out for, I guess, a year now, over a year, maybe a year, right? Now they run and look amazing compared to what they did at launch. They just run really great. And for people playing on PC and people who were able to get an Nvidia graphics card before the prices exploded, the latest version of the Nvidia driver that came out earlier this week when Halo came out is actually good. I did move up to that. Before that, I've been hanging on to the final end of the 500 branch Nvidia drivers, because I just like every time they added a new driver, there were like so many issues with it and the performance got worse. So it's like, why is this being in? What's the point of this update? What is it fixing? But the latest NVIDIA drivers are pretty safe to move on to. I had an issue, though, that I finally fixed. And every other driver, I would get this issue where when I would play like a game, a graphically intense game with like lots of HDR or whatever the hell, it would crash my monitor. So suddenly my monitor would just go black and I would have to like restart the monitor. Usually it was like I could actually just turn it off and then turn it back on. But then like recently when this bug happened, I had to unplug the monitor to get it working again. It was just black screen. And it didn't make sense because I have 3 monitors. So the other 2 monitors wouldn't die. It was just like the monitor that the game was playing on would just like crap out. I'm like, what the fuck? And then like I looked into it and then I finally found the actual culprit of it. So maybe this will help someone out there who has like this issue. Or something maybe you want to do. This is an issue if you have multiple monitors connected to an Nvidia GPU. It might be the same situation with the AMD GPU. I think it's with like the newer stuff. So if you have a powerful video card and it's hooked up to more than one monitor, and the monitors also have high refresh rate. Okay, so like plus 60. So, and also if everything is different as well. Like I have multiple, so like this monitor here is both my monitors, the side monitors are 2K monitors, right? 1440p monitors. And one is like I think both of them are. No, I think both of them are 165 hertz. Okay. Both of them are 165 hertz, 1440p monitors. However, the monitor in the center, my primary monitor that I game on, that's 4K and that's 240 hertz. So I have this like mismatch of monitors. They're not all the same. So this can cause an issue with the card where the handshake between the display port cable and the monitor, or the HDMI cable and the monitor, will suddenly crash because it gets overloaded or whatever. So to fix this, you go to your NVIDIA app or whatever, or your AMD app, and go to where it says scaling. So scaling is how big it makes how it makes everything fit depending on the resolution. So make sure if you have multiple monitors, you want scaling set to GPU, not scaling set to display, so that your GPU is controlling the scaling of the monitors and not the displays themselves or sending information back to the system. So the first time I had this problem, I fixed it, but I just change the scaling to my main monitor to GPU. I didn't realize when you click the other two monitors, you can also control the scaling to that. It doesn't just switch it for everyone. So once I switched all of my monitor scaling function to be set by the GPU, everything got smoother, no more crashes, and it almost felt like I got like better FPS boost. It also looks like the side monitors look more vibrant or juicy. And I don't know if that's a placebo effect, but the thing that I could say is not a placebo effect is my monitor stopped crashing every like 30 or 40 minutes of like playing. So I'm just going to let that out there just in case some poor soul has this problem, and Google Gemini or whatever AI crawls on this video's transcript, finds that information and helps that poor soul. We're just going to put it out there. The other reason I like playing these games, especially multiplayer games, multiplayer competitive games, not so much Halo, is like I said, like I really love, like, I'm all like end game forever sold on inner ear monitors for gaming, because like it's just way more comfortable for me. And the one important tip I have for people is, like, it's in the IEM world, they call it tip rolling, is take the time to pick the right size tip or buy other tips. They're not expensive at all, to make sure the seal and the fit is good for the IEM, so they don't like pop out of your ear and it's fully fit. The bigger the IEM tip is for your ear hole, the more bass you'll get, or that you'll be able to perceive. So that's a little, like, try to push it up as much as you can for comfort, so it seals it or whatever. But yeah, I've been loving it. Like, you really do have an advantage. And I'm not like a pro player or anything like that, but I can, like, if I'm in a corner somewhere in a building, I can hear where the footsteps are coming from. So I can turn that way and be prepared that the dude's going to come out this door right now. I can hear exactly the footsteps coming up. So, and that just like gives the game another dimension to it, another like gameplay mechanic that makes it a lot more fun. So like playing games like Battlefield and COD, where you're like kind of like slowly creeping up to try to find someone, and you can start hearing them coming up and they're trying to sneak up on you. You do have an advantage if you can like hear really closely with like inner ear headphones. And these things are not expensive at all. And then if anything, because of they're mainly wired, you don't have to like worry about charging batteries and stuff like that, which makes me think about, like, I need to retire my Pulse headphones. I have like in front of my PlayStation. I guess in September I'll do that once I get like Wolverine or some reason to turn on the PlayStation 5. I am going to retire the Pulse headphones because they're taking up a lot of space. I have them hanging in front of my system. Retire them. I'm going to just use my IEMs plugged into the actual controller. Sure, the sound might not sound as good, like fidelity wise, like quality wise, but overall it's just a way, way better experience playing games like that. But to each its own. Some people don't have glasses and have like nice poofy hair to act as like a buffer or a cushion for the headphone strap. So like in that case, maybe you don't need IEMs. You're happy with your headphones. But for blind baldy like me, we love the headphones. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, folks. Like going to get ready to play some more Halo and finish at least the main campaign. Probably tomorrow, maybe it's a long weekend here. I'll play the bonus missions as I wait for Beasts of Reincarnation on Tuesday. And then, what's after that? At the end of the week. So next weekend, I'll be playing that Gears of War Reloaded. Not Gears of War Reloaded. That game was not good. Gears of War E-Day multiplayer beta. and I'll have some impressions on that. So we got some good stuff. I'm really hyped about this week. Got some good stuff coming down the pipe. And I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, you guys all take care of yourselves, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. See ya.